Hello and welcome to Geeks Between Worlds. Today I am talking about Nintendo and how they compete in 2020 against the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Next gen consoles are coming no matter what holiday 2020, and today I'm going to give you 5 examples and theories on how I think Nintendo can compete with this next gen technology. Nintendo Switch is the fastest selling console in US history, and as of 2019 it outsold the total sales of Xbox One. So I have a lot of hope for Nintendo in 2020, and I guarantee that this will be this year's best-selling console just like it was the last 2 years. And if you didn't know, if you're new to the Geeks Between Worlds universe, I'm going to be announcing a giveaway winner at the end of this video. I had a previous giveaway for a Final Fantasy VII video. All you had to do was tell me your favorite Final Fantasy VII character, and you could win a $20 eShop gift card. I'm giving away that same card at the end of this video, so if you want to be into other giveaways, if you want to see what else the channel is doing, make sure you are subscribed. But now let's get into the discussion. Let's talk about how Nintendo could still dominate this year, even though it's coming up against the PS5 and Xbox Series X. My first example, my first theory is probably something you've already seen. It's been going around, analysis, all these leaks, and it is just everywhere. And that's obviously a Switch Pro coming out mid-2020. And this will start out as my first example simply because we've heard it even since before last year. We heard that there might be a new Pro Switch model coming out. Lately, they say a lot of analysts are reporting that Nintendo will probably launch a Switch Pro mid-2020, and let's just go over that release date for a second. Mid-2020 makes a lot of sense. With a mid-2020 release date, they get ahead of the competition. You probably haven't had a big purchase in a while, so you might be easily sold on a Switch Pro. Maybe you've had your Switch since launch, maybe the Switch Lite didn't work out for you, or maybe you just want something for you instead of for the family. And releasing this console before PS5 and Xbox Series X even hit the market just makes a lot of sense. But the name Switch Pro doesn't really sit with me. I think we're much more likely to get the Switch XL or Switch Deluxe, or preferably my favorite, Switch DX. XL, Deluxe, and DX all goes with Nintendo's branding before, so I think any variation of these names would make sense. Now for me, when I think of this Switch DX, I think of 4K docked 1080 handheld. I think of refined and stronger Joy-Cons, obviously an enhanced processor and a stronger kickstand. Some of these reports are saying that you may not be able to actually dock the console. It may just be a home console and it doesn't even switch into a handheld. I think that would be a mistake. I think one of the biggest criticisms of the Switch Lite was just that you can't switch it and there's no functionality at all to be able to switch it. And as a proud owner of the Switch Lite, I still sometimes look at my TV in a long, sad stare and say, I wish I could switch my Switch. So for me, 4K, 1080 handheld, switchable with just a stronger model is what I'm looking for in a Switch Deluxe. This would also accompany reports of 64GB game cards, which may help the Switch Pro deliver us the best optimal gaming experience that the Switch can give us. They could literally take my money right now for the Switch DX. I am already sold, whatever it is. Unless if it's not like 4K or switchable, then I'm going to start having mixed feelings about this. But nevertheless, I'm ready to see what this next evolution of the Switch is. Now here enters a crazy thought though, and my next example or theory on how Nintendo can compete in 2020, and that is, what if Nintendo plans on having another hardware release in 2020? Let's talk about the Nintendo 64 Classic. We know the classic consoles sell a lot. They even chart on NPD, and they have been known to be the month's top selling hardware. So if Nintendo put out a Switch DX in the summer and then a Nintendo 64 in maybe October or November, they wouldn't even be competing against each other. You have two different markets, and a lot of people would be purchasing these consoles. This may cause some uproar with fans thinking that they don't get Nintendo 64 games on the Switch. I don't think that will be the situation. We have the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, yet those still came to Nintendo Switch Online. So I don't think that it's out of the possibility to have these things both exist. There's a lot of people that think Nintendo 64 is the fan favorite, And I could see it even releasing with 4 controllers, an awesome holiday commercial, nostalgia, your childhood back, all of the boxes ticked with the Nintendo 64 Classic. We don't even have to get into the library of games because I'm sure you're rattling them off in your head. The library would be awesome. And let's be honest, I'd buy it, you'd probably buy it, you'd probably want your kids to try it out. You get 4-player Mario Party again. I mean, who knows the possibilities of the Nintendo 64 Classic and what it would do on the NPD charts. I think it would do really well. But in that same breath, I want to jump ahead to the future now. My next example, my next theory is something that we have heard before. It's kind of died off recently, but I think it's really important. I think it's very possible as well. A lot of people have been saying, well, when the PS5 and the Xbox Series X release, there isn't going to be any ports coming to the Switch, right? There's going to be too big of a technological difference between these consoles. And even with a Switch DX or a Switch Pro coming out, that may not be able to clear the gap. But for the last couple years, we have heard rumors about things like Game Pass coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I don't think that so much is dead yet. I think there's a big possibility that they were actually saving it for this time right now. If these next-gen consoles hit, and there is a big spec difference, and the Nintendo Switch can't run ports, it would make sense to actually get involved in that streaming service finally. Project xCloud is in beta right now. That is Xbox's streaming service, and a lot of people are saying that it's running really well. Game Pass was going to come to the Switch, but they needed to make sure that xCloud was working properly. And I also wouldn't count PlayStation out of this equation. There's a big possibility that PlayStation could strike a deal with Nintendo. However, I think that Xbox is way more likely. We know that Ori came to the Switch, but in the same vein, Stranger's Wrath is also coming to the Switch now, a PlayStation title. So anything is possible, I would say. Obviously, there's already been cooperation between Microsoft and Nintendo, so that's why I think they're the favorite. And with Project xCloud getting good beta reports, I think it's way more than likely than what we thought even last year. I'm not too sure if Xbox Game Pass's full library would actually go to the Switch right away if this was the case. Maybe there would be a Nintendo Switch curated library if they did actually bring it to Switch. Also, pricing would be something that I would wonder about. I don't know if it'd be bundled under Game Pass Ultimate, if they would do a Nintendo Switch only SKU to do that. That'd be my preference, would be just a Switch only Game Pass that you pay $5 to $10 a month. I think it's already like $15 for Ultimate, $10 for Game Pass, and $5 for PC. So if it was $5 for the Switch to get Game Pass a month, I mean, dude, I am sold. You get Sea of Thieves, you get Forza, you get Gears, maybe Halo. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and I think this is the perfect time for Nintendo to strike a deal with a streaming service. And if that does happen, I'm all in. I would very much like to try Project xCloud on my Switch, whether it be the beginning of 2021, the end of 2021. I think it's very possible we see that in the next year if it is going to happen. If it's going to happen, I would say in the next year or bust. If we don't see it, it won't happen. So keep your eyes peeled. I really think this is a possibility. My next theory, my next example, however, is something that might make you laugh. I'm going to talk about more ports coming to the Switch. I know. Before you exit out of this video, before you're like, Oscar, no ports, stop with your ports. The Nintendo Switch is full of ports, so we don't need no ports. But seriously, what if Nintendo comes out in a Treehouse event, something around E3, and they announce that they're going to be porting a bunch of GameCube games to the Switch finally? I know we just talked about the Nintendo 64 Classic. They could also announce ports from there, but I'm thinking, what if they just mainline to the GameCube and they announce that Metroid Prime Collection is coming out, and also Wind Waker, right? There's been reports of this Metroid Prime Collection that it's been lasting forever, it feels like. I feel like I've heard of reports of this Metroid Prime Collection since literally like the first year of Nintendo Switch, since Metroid got announced. So I think it's possible that they kind of use that as the icebreaker. Here's Metroid Prime, the collection, Also, here's Wind Waker, and then pretty soon you could expect games like Mario Sunshine or Double Dash maybe, or Pikmin, whatever it is, whatever those great GameCube games are, they actually open the door to that. A big reason why I said the Nintendo 64 Classic earlier is that I think that would be their next big classic, and I think it'd be smarter to not try to wait around. I don't think they're going to release a GameCube Classic anytime soon, so it makes sense to port those games over, leave the 64 Classic for the hardware consumers, the people that want the nostalgia feeling factor, and then you get the best of both worlds, right? I think that is a huge fan service moment. That's something that Nintendo Switch owners have been asking for a long time. There's a lot of great GameCube games that don't get enough recognition, and I'm sure Nintendo is looking at this software and saying, hey, we could resell this, we could put it on the Switch, and everybody would be happy. But that doesn't even hold a candle to my last and final theory on how Nintendo can just slay 2020. And it's something that they have done before, something that is very easily possible, and out of all of these theories, I think this is most likely going to happen. And that's releasing another trifecta of holiday bangers like they did in 2018, like they did in 2017, like they did in 2019 even. Nintendo is really good at releasing their best games around holiday, and I think with PS5 and Xbox Series X coming up, it is out of the question to even think otherwise, right? Now, what's my trifecta lineup, you may ask? Well, I think it's pretty simple, okay? I think in October, we either get Bayonetta 3 or Metroid. I think in November, we get Breath of the Wild 2, releasing alongside PS5 and Xbox Series X, because I think when you look at Breath of the Wild 2, you're saying, hey, I think this may be the best critically received game we could release. This will be on everybody's, this will be the word of mouth, right? Everybody will be talking about this game, and who knows? PS5 and Xbox Series X may not even release a game that could hold a candle to it. So I think releasing Breath of the Wild 2 in November is just, it makes perfect sense, especially if you have that Switch Deluxe out mid 2020 already, right? It's able to boost it up. It makes it look real great. It's in 4K, and everybody's just super happy. And then in December, you release the holiday game that nobody expected, right? And that's either Mario Odyssey 2 or Mario Kart 9. That's right, I'm really putting it out into existence. Let's think about it, okay? We haven't had a Mario Kart game since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it is the Switch's best-selling game by far. And that is a port from Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. So I'm sure internally they have been working on Mario Kart 9 maybe for quite some time, and it'd be just brilliant to release it side by side with Zelda and then Mario Kart 9 November, December, and then like I said, if you had that October banger, right? We had Luigi's Mansion 3 in 2019, so we get the Metroid or the Bayonetta in the October, then we get bam, bam, bam. I mean, come on. It just makes sense. You have a hardware release in 2020. Now, all of these games are maybe 4K, right? So it's using that new 4K TV you bought. All these consoles are running 4K, so you're kind of in that discussion now, right? There's no going to Best Buy and saying, hey, which one's the best? And some Best Buy owner says, oh, well, the Switch only goes 1080. No, now they're all in 4K, and they're all banger titles. So I really think that this could happen. And then going into Mario Odyssey 2, that could be another banger that's released. I think Mario Kart 9 may be more likely, but Mario Odyssey 2 is not off the table by any means. Just like Breath of the Wild 2, they're probably using the same engine, a lot of the same assets as the first Mario Odyssey, so it'd probably be a quicker development cycle, and then boom, you got another trifecta. You could literally plug and play this trifecta theory, and it works for Nintendo. So Switch owners, get hyped. I really think that 2020 is going to be awesome for the Switch. I think it's going to have some of the best game releases. I mean, it's going to definitely compete with all of PS5's exclusives this year, right? I mean, PS5 has Final Fantasy VII, it's got Last of Us 2, it's got Ghost of Tsushima, it has an Iron Man VR game. But I mean, really, when you think about it, the Switch is probably going to be the best-selling console this year just because it's the newest thing, all the kids want it, and it's at the tail end of all the other consoles cycles. So it just makes sense that they're going to push really, really hard this year, because if they don't, they could probably see the end looming, right? Like, you know that these consoles are coming out, and if you don't make that big Switch push this year, it's going to get left in the dust. So say it with me, people. Say it with me. The Switch will kill it in 2020. Maybe not. Maybe everything I said is just a lie. Maybe nothing happens, and the Switch rides off into the sunset because they just can't compete. That is a real possibility. Sorry to like get you super hyped and then like bring you super down. But that's a possibility we all have to face. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think you think that's the case. Maybe you do. Let me know your opinions of these theories down below. Let me know your favorite one. Why you think all of them are crap. Maybe you think all my theories are just crap. Let me know why below. But now let's get to announcing the winner of the $20 eShop gift card. Alright everybody, I have the power in my hands, okay? I'm about to pick this winner. If you would like to be entered into future giveaways, like I said, you gotta hit the subscribe button, but also smash the bell. You gotta smash the bell, you gotta make it go ding, because if you don't hit the bell, and I upload a giveaway video, and you don't see it, you won't get entered in the giveaway, and you may not win the cool thing, and you may not be happy, you know? Winning makes you happy. I wanna make you happy. So, make sure you smash the subscribe, ding the bell. I'm about to make someone happy right now. Let's see who wins this $20 eShop gift card, okay? Got the comments here, get YouTube comments. I'm about to hit the start button, okay? Start is going through the names. Anything could happen. Hype intensifies, okay? I'm sweating. I'm not really sweating, but I'm sweating bullets right now. Who wins? The winner is James Kennedy. His favorite Final Fantasy VII character is Tifa. Makes sense. He spelled it with 2 F's, though. He spelled it with 2 F's. He spelled Tifa with 2 F's. I don't know if he's excited or not. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go because you just won yourself a $20 eShop gift card. That's enough to get Final Fantasy VII on the Switch if you want to. I hope you enjoy spending that $20 eShop gift card. I will be contacting you to let you know how you get that code. And everybody, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I got to talk about some Nintendo again. I know I've been getting into a lot of Final Fantasy VII lately, but the info is rich out there, people. They're dropping blogs. They're dropping leaks. Final Fantasy VII stuff is happening like crazy. I did a little bit of Kingdom Hearts stuff, but I'm really excited for Remind pretty soon. I'll probably drop a Let's Play of that. I know I haven't been putting too many Let's Plays up, but like I said, Final Fantasy VII has been dominating my world, and I'm so excited for it. So make sure, okay, if you like Switch content, if you like Square Enix content, if you like some first-person shooter content, some Let's Plays, just let me know, okay? Make sure you're here with me during the journey. I really appreciate you. GBW out.